Jehovah's Witnesses? Yeah. You are. No one really. Is this a good spot for you guys to hang out? People actually stop to talk to you here? You seem like you're in such a hurry.
We are.
So are you? Do you ever get in good conversations here? Because everyone's in such a hurry right here.
Yeah.
I come out here a lot, and I always wonder. I'm like, does anyone ever stop to talk to you?
Yeah. Well, because it's international, so you get a lot of
All over the
all
world.
over the world.
Right.
We're in about every airport now.
I've seen that. I travel a lot. I've seen you. So why are you guys Jehovah's Witnesses?
Because we love our God Jehovah, and He gives us a promise for the future.
When did you guys become Jehovah's Witnesses? Born and raised?
A little bit.
No. Okay. Husband and wife?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. From Arizona.
I was born here.
Okay. Right on.
Not
So
raised here, but
why do you think that the organization or the Watchtower is true?
It's
we
spreading.
believe the Bible.
Yeah, right.
The Bible
Okay. So what convinces you though about the Watchtower's particular version of Christ and the gospel? What has you so committed to it? What's convincing you?
It's the truth.
Okay. It's the truth. Okay. All right. But I'm a Christian, and I love Jehovah's Witnesses. You guys are extraordinarily passionate, and one thing I respect about you guys is just the tenacity of your organization and the fact that you guys spend all your time out and knocking on doors and on the streets. That shows that you have a true commitment, so I respect that very much.
We try to imitate Christ. It's just what His whole focus was in spreading the good news of God.
Going out, and that's right.
And the kingdom is a solution for mankind's problems, and it's evident that we're in the last days. So, what better thing could we be doing with our time than waste it on other things?
Yeah, well, I appreciate that very much, and I believe you mean what you say for sure. And you wouldn't be standing here. You said you believe we're in the last days. What do you mean by that?
Well, if you study God's word, you know what the last days, the signs of the last days. Right?
Okay.
What are they?
What would you be referring to?
What is the sign of the last days that Jesus gave?
In Matthew 24, in the Olivet Discourse?
It's not only that, but in Timothy and all the Gospels, actually.
Yeah.
Mark 13, Luke 21.
Yeah, Luke 21, Matthew 24, Mark 13. Very good. Yeah, the Olivet Discourse. So you think the Olivet Discourse has something to do with today? Is that what you believe?
What was that?
You think the Olivet Discourse has something to do with today?
That's what we've seen, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, turn the TV on.
Yeah, it's bad. The world's, there's a lot of difficulty. And
Sicknesses, pestilence,
okay.
The people's attitudes.
brothers of themselves, brothers of others.
Yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm a Christian, and so that interests me in terms of the Watchtower believing that we're in the last days.
What's not just the Watchtower? It's what the Bible talks about.
Right. Well, in the Olivet Discourse, one thing I would ask you about is the Olivet Discourse. Jesus, the Olivet Discourse, the Great Tribulation passage, Matthew 24,
Right.
Mark
You mean
13.
Sermon on the Mount.
No.
That's not the same.
Yeah.
Right.
So Jesus indicts the Jewish leadership, and then he departs the temple and goes to the Mount of Olives. And the disciples are freaking out because he's just said that all the blood of the righteous will be upon that generation, the generation he was speaking to. So the disciples are like, what's this? They're confused by it, and he just announced that the temple's going to be taken apart. There won't be left standing one stone upon another.
Which that happened in
70 AD. That's right. And so Jesus has denounced the leadership. He says the temple's going to be desolate, and then they're saying, what's the sign of your coming and the end of the age? Not the end of the world, at the end of the age.
The system is
Yeah, that Jewish system, the old covenant system. Yeah, because the dismantling of the temple would mean the coming of the Messianic age and the old age gone. Yeah, and so I guess my question would be, Jesus says in the Olivet Discourse, he tells them what they will see, his disciples, that generation, and he said that all these things will come upon this generation. So the wars and the rumors of wars, the famines, all the persecution, those sorts of things, he says that they were going to experience, and it would all take place before they all died. And it did. Well, it was all fulfilled. There was more wars in that period. There was the Pax Romana when Jesus gave that prophecy, peace of Rome. So to say that there would be wars and rumors of wars would have been surprising to them. It wasn't allowed in Rome. And the famines, the earthquakes, one of the largest earthquakes in human history was in Pompeii in about 62 AD. It was like the whole world went to war with themselves before the destruction of the temple, and the temple was destroyed in that generation. So I guess my point is Jesus said that all those things he prophesied in the Olivet Discourse were going to occur before they all died. And I would argue that they did, on time and as planned. So that's, I guess, my question is, I've had relationships with... What's that?
Greater fulfillment. If you talk with witnesses, you probably know that we believe there's a greater fulfillment that happened. It happened in the first century. There's another fulfillment that we see happening.
Like the good news of the kingdom wasn't preached then, like it is now in all the earth. We're doing, we're Bible. Yeah, that's enough.
So in Matthew 24, where he says the gospel will be proclaimed in all the world. Yeah, and did you know that Paul said that had occurred in the first century?
It occurred to a certain degree.
He said it was the gospel was preached to every creature under heaven.
So what's your hope? What are you trying to get at?
Well, I guess my point is as a Christian, I mean the Watchtower organization began with Charles Taze Russell, and he had a different version of God, a different version of Christ, a different version of the gospel. And the organization prophesied the end of the world numerous times in the 19th and 20th century, and there were.
If you know all that, why are you talking to me?
Because I care for you.
Yeah.
Same reason you're out here talking to others.
We believe what we believe, and we're really happy with it. And so it's good to agree to disagree. Right?
Okay, but don't you believe I'm lost? Don't you?
No, I'm not saying.
You don't believe I'm lost?
We just believe that we're happy, and we can agree to disagree.
Well, that's a good modern American way of thinking, but not a gospel of the kingdom way of thinking. Because doesn't Jesus say, "I am the way, the truth, and the life"?
Yeah, we don't want to debate. So.
But don't you believe Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life?
We do.
So is Jesus the eternal God, or is he a created creature of Jehovah?
The firstborn of creation.
And
The firstborn.
the word there you're
So
quoting
you had a
from.
beginning, right?
Well, no, the word prototikos doesn't mean in order of, so you don't have an answer. Well,
We do have it.
you don't.
We just want to spend. We'd rather.
Well, you're here to propagate your message, right? So I'm an opportunity for your mission. Well, you should know that I'm a minister of the gospel. You guys are teaching people a false God and a false Christ and a false gospel. And if you continue to do so, you're leading other people. So do I. This is a public space. And I'm just here to talk to you in love and grace and respect.
Thank you very much for coming by.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Well, since it's a public space, I will tell you that the Bible teaches there's only one God. Jesus is the eternal God. He wasn't created by Jehovah. He's always existed alongside the Father. John 1:1 says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God." It says that he always existed alongside the Father. He's the creator of all things. So your Jesus doesn't have any existence. 2 Corinthians 11, Paul says there are other Christs and other gospels, and they cannot save you. And so you're following an organization that has given false prophecies about the future. It's teaching a false God and a false Christ. And though I respect and honor you as human beings for doing what you're doing, you are leading people astray. And if you truly loved me, I think you'd spend a moment, at least as I'm standing here graciously talking to you, explaining why you believe what you believe. Because you're teaching. Sure, no, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave, but you should know that the scriptures teach there is only one God. Well, Jesus said that he's the way, the truth, and the life, and there's only one way to God. And you're teaching people a false Christ and leading people astray. So I care for you, sir, and I do pray that you come to know the true Christ, the true gospel, because your organization teaches a different God and a different gospel. My name is Jeff. It's been a pleasure and honor talking to you, okay?